toughest things to do in all of college football is win. Going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to the home of the Florida State Seminoles, Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Alabama Crimson, the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Seminoles will put toe to leather and we'll get started. And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Alabama's offense will dial up the first ball plays in this one. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Looking to pass, it's Simpson. Makes the grab, it's Williams. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
A cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound. The war chant on third down at the Doak. From the gun, wants to pass. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free and fourth down is coming up.
Just got to wonder, too, guys, if the crowd didn't impact the offense. They're playing on the road on the first third down of this football game. Incomplete. The idea here, I think, just punt it away and see if you can regroup, because this environment is hostile.
They kick it away on fourth down. No fair catches here, looking for room. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. So Florida State's offense will try to get something going with their first possession. And they're going to have to contend with a secondary that is one of the best in the nation, Jesse.
And they're a complete secondary, too. When you watch them on film, they're very good defending the pass in coverage, and they can play man and zone. But I like them, David, because they're not afraid to put their face in the fan. Everybody in the back end likes to tackle and likes to be physical. That's what makes them special.
Yeah, and it's just an elite group in the back end. Multiple guys that win their individual matchups, which makes it hard to run offense. And this is a group that, yes, they tackle well, they see the football well, they break on it well. You better worry about the ground game. You better get some kind of deception going against this secondary.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Going to try to get it himself. Across the 45. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet. The Noles have had outstanding quarterbacks over the years. Not always dual threats. Sometimes a little more Danny Cannell-ish, but using his feet well there.
And even Chris Winkie. And guys that maybe they weren't runners, but, man, they made those athletes around them really come to life and were a force multiplier, made everybody around them better. And you found a lot of those guys with these Florida State offenses.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
The give to the left. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. The inside handoff. Stopped right at the 42-yard line as this defense forces a fourth down.
At the 42. Fourth down coming up.
And the Seminoles will bring the punt team onto the field. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And he can't quite get it down or out of bounds. It's into the end zone for a touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. The give to the tailback. Running hard and getting 6 yards out to the 26.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on second and short. Now the play fake. Grab near the marker. It's Cuevas. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
Yeah, and I love running my tight ends across the formation. Just big targets that I can find a way to get the football to. Nice snag, nice little positive game for my offense.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. Use the play fake, now to throw. Oh, they're after him. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on second down. Leaves it with the back. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
You see, this is what great defenses do. Great defenses swarm to the football. So when you do miss a tackle, it's not the end of the world. There's another guy right there to wrap him up. Great defenses seem like they got 12 guys on the field. Nice job swarming to the football, engulfing the running back.
On third and long, no secret what he needs here. They get him up, rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
I love that play call defensively because it's third and long. You know that the offense is going to throw it. So why not dial up an exotic? Why not bring a blitz and help your pass rush get home to the QB?
Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. A low line drive and not his best work. Playing the field position game as he makes the fair catch right at the 50. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Catch in the middle, it's Thomas. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
That's the way you get things going. A huge play, and now attacking from just inside the red zone. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They give it to him again. He stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a third and long.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
Now on 4th down, they'll settle for a field goal try. And this one only 35 yards out, but not straight away. This one from the left hash. Just drives it between the uprights. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. They'll try to put a drive together starting from their own 12. They'll go with a direct snap. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, the offense is trying to go power here, and normally this play hits right up the middle, but there was just too much congestion. It forced the ball carrier to bounce it to the outside. He gets tackled for a loss.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, it's Simpson. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Just gets rid of it before the heat. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
You can just start to sense the frustration building for this offense after that incompletion. Right now, setting up 4th down. They haven't yet scored a touchdown. They just can't find a rhythm in this game. Obviously, the defense, the big reason for that. But if this offense wants a chance to win, they have got to start stringing some completions together and get this quarterback in a better rhythm.
And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. All right, guys, here comes the Florida State offense onto the field. So they've put up some early points, and now to build on this 3-0. There he goes! Stopped and forced out of bounds at the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone, and they are looking to get one in here. The offense down to the 22 on 1st and 10. Fires to the big fella. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
And watch the offensive line here. They all block and run. Because they're blocking run, the quarterback decides, oh, I got a favorable matchup. He dumps it out to the right, makes the right read, gets a nice positive gain.
Now down to the 12-yard line. It's 1st down. It's complete. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a 1st down. We've come to the end of the period, and Florida State has the lead. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the 2nd period. They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. On the direct snap, it's Williams. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Noles!
Down in tight to the goal line, you saw some good movement up front by the offensive line, getting a push and giving that running back a chance.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it off with a short plunge into the end zone. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. The returner will field it and try to set up his offense in great field position. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Here's the give off the left side. Gets away from one, finds some space. Oh, he's got some space. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
I'll tell you, the defense is going to have to do a much better job containing these outside run plays. They better be able to funnel the football back to the middle of the field, because this guy with his speed can kill you like he did on that outside run play there to the left.
This offense has been sluggish, to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Shoots it to the left. Complete downfield. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21. Passing game kept the drive moving. Here's 1st down. To throw, it's Simpson. Unloads to the right. He's got an open man. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the 1st down and sets them up beautifully here.
I love quarterbacks that are decisive and that put the mustard on the passes. When you need to put the ball on a line in a hurry with some extra hot sauce, you have to do it. Good job by the quarterback understanding zone and hitting that curve.
On the option. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
When you play the option and you play quickly, getting the quarterback to the ground.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. Tries to slither forward on the sneak.
And David, on 3rd and inches right there, that's often a decision the quarterback predetermines. Who's my best guard? That's the guy I'm going to try to get behind.
And I know that defensively too, but I'm just trying to dive and create a pile, but it's so hard to stop that play. That's why you see it ran so successfully.
Just moments ago, Alabama was feeling the shadow of its own goalpost, and now the Tide generating momentum. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
Lining up for the PAT. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the capper on that drive, the 10-yard touchdown run. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. The RPO, it's complete. It's almost incomprehensible to think the Noles failed to break 17 points 10 times a season ago, That's a year after being prolific, Jesse. So what are the keys to regaining some form?
Now, Reese, I think it's the quarterback position. I think this team was spoiled in a lot of ways when they had Jordan Travis. And they obviously had so much NFL talent surrounding him, but they had a leader. They had a guy that everybody could look at when times got tough and believe in. Someone has got to be able to establish themselves at the quarterback position for this team to get back to its winning ways.
They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. The Seminoles come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Handoff from the shotgun. Turns it on in midfield. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. The Noles injecting some attitude, throwing the spear down and declaring they're going to run the football.
Run the football, be aggressive. This is the part of the offense that, remember, it was a long time, Florida State offensive line play wasn't good enough. They got to get that physicality, that run game, if they want to be a great program again.
And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
And the defense catches a break on that one. And this guy's not a superstar, but he's pretty dang reliable. And we talked to them about this guy. Like, he's kind of the security blanket for the quarterback. And him to drop that football doesn't happen often. You take those lucky things when you can get them.
To the air, it's Castellanos. Quick completion on the out route. It'll be third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking left, working the middle. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in early to his quarterback, knowing that his players were going to be able to execute.
He'll do it himself. Turning it on. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
Man, this defense has to be better. You have to stop the first part of the option, and that is the quarterback. And he gets loose. He gets the first down, another set of downs. They need to figure out this plan and how to stop this quarterback.
They're lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they have dialed up for this one. They'll send the back in motion. On the direct snap, it's White. And this Wildcat is going to be declawed, stopped in the backfield.
Offense trying to go push pass on first down on the goal line, but the defense, tremendous surge up front. They get penetration, and they get the tackle for loss.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Wants to go up top. A little screen to the running back. Looking for the end zone. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Florida State. On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. They put together an 81-yard drive, and they close the deal with the 7-yarder for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Coming out with it, it's Adams. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Caught in the backfield, it's Miller. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. The give to the back. Into the pile, maybe got one. He stopped at the 21.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and then they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football. You can tell.
They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on 3rd down at the door. Scanning the field, it's Simpson. Bringing the heat. He'll try to do it himself. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
Really nice job by the defense that time. 3rd down, they're expecting pass, but they also know that this quarterback is dangerous when he wants to scramble. It was almost as if they were expecting that. They were able to get to him, get him down. It now sets up 4th down. And you don't see the defense sprinting out the field just yet, guys. They're not sure. With this guy's scrambling ability, they may try to go for this.
He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. They'll get this drive started from their own 45-yard line. Going right to work up top. Grabbed over the middle. It's Thomas. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a 1st down.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws, right in those holes, get those 1st downs, get those big chunks.
Throws to the wideout. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Back to pass on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit, forcing the incomplete?
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
And those outside linebackers nowadays, they're so fast. They got to cover ground. You can blitz them off the edge, and they can get after quarterbacks. Versatile. That's why they're getting drafted so high in the NFL and getting paid all that money.
The Noles will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Past the 1st down marker and still running. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Looking to throw, it's Simpson. Unloads to the wideout. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line.
Well, that's a huge moment here in the game at the end of the 1st half because the offense is trying to march down the field. They're trying to cut into the opponent's lead, but with that interception and with that return, the defense now, they put their team in an opportunity to pad their lead with more points here at the end of the 1st half.
They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the 1st half. Caught in the backfield, it's McCoy. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
Hey, that's a live ball. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
And this QB has the ability to make huge plays and scramble around and do things off schedule. But that time he coughed it up. Did a great job of getting outside the pocket, but the defense closed in, forced the fumble, recovered it. Great job by the defense.
They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Wants to go up top on first down. Looking to the big tight end. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them and make big plays. It's tough to sit back in zone against such smart players nowadays.
Deep shot for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, this defense was ready for go box. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking downfield, it's Simpson. That's caught. It's Horton. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. And it's third down, but they're going to go ahead and try the field goal and try to get points before the break. Splits the uprights. It's good. They're back to within a touchdown, 17-10.
No problem. Big leg, nice accuracy. That's a big-time kick for this young man.
That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So the offense has done its job. They have the lead, and they'll secure it as we head to halftime. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
All right, guys, looks like we've got a great one in Tallahassee going on. And in this day and age where quarterbacks chuck it all over the field, how refreshing to see 2 offenses rely on off-tackle left, off-tackle right, and even a few halfback dives. Physical offensive lines and elusive backs have told the story. A throwback to the halcyon days of 3 yards and a cloud of dust. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Doak Campbell Stadium.
Alabama ready to put a boot to it to start the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Pressure coming. Trying to get rid of it. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
I think he's showing you his experience on that decision right there. There was nothing open, so don't try to force it into coverage. You've got the lead. If it's not there, just throw it away. The head coach loves to see his quarterback make that kind of decision.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking for a crease to the left. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
And the Seminoles are way behind the sticks on this 3rd and forever. Dropping back, it's Castellanos. And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, I know this offense came out here in the second half hoping to build on their one-possession lead, but after that incompletion, I think the smart thing is to just kick it away here and let your defense play and try to get it back to you without giving up any points.
And the Noles will call on their punt team. Fair catch is brought in at the 43, and they are set up nicely. First snap of this drive comes from their own 44. Quarterback on the keeper. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case in there. They try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
Second down, he'll throw it. Caught behind the line. It's Miller. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
Now, on offense, you're trying to get your running back involved here in the passing game, and obviously no success on that play. Defense seemed like they were aware of it, and all of a sudden you've set yourself up in a tough position here on third.
A cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound, the war chant on third down at the dope. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And he fires a dirt ball. Man, oh man, would he like to have that pass back.
Well, after struggling so much in the first half, you thought they would have made some adjustments here at halftime to see if they can open up this passing game. But early on in the second half, they're just not really able to get that done. Incompletion on third down in your own end.
This drive will start from the 19-yard line. They'll run the counter. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Man, when you go into the half and you're down, like that speech is usually pretty fiery. A lot of words you can't use on television. And so this coaching staff probably challenged their guys, and I like the way they started this second half so far. Physically, flying around, doing a great job stopping the run. They got to play like this the rest of the game.
Back to throw, it's Castellanos. They've got the screen set up. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
Well, one thing you got to say about this guy is he's very, very poised. He knew he had that defender bearing down on him. He got hit right as he threw it. Still, though, it didn't affect his accuracy. Nice job getting that completion.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He lofts one down the sideline. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down.
Hey, when you speed quarterbacks up like this and you hurry their thought process, they're going to make mistakes. That was a mistake there. Throwing into double coverage, obviously not something you want to do. Could have been worse. Nice job by the defense.
The Seminoles will punt it away on fourth down. He'll settle for some pretty good field position and make the fair catch at around the 35. They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. Direct snap. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. A strike downfield. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch.
What a great play call offensively. Taking the shot, you flip the field, and now you better get those red zone play calls ready and dialed up.
On 1st and goal, let's see if Alabama can get it in the end zone. Wants to throw. It's Simpson. Firing to the right, complete. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Just spectacular execution there.
offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. They'll run it. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Bama!
And the offense continues to run the football. The 2nd rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes. Continue to feed this man the ball.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And the extra point was made without incident, and we're tied up here in the 3rd. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. The give out of the gun. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Trying play action. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
Really nice play. When you talk about Alabama and their dominance on defense, especially in recent years, it all starts up front. You have to have disruptors playing on the defensive line, guys that can be versatile and line up at different positions, but create havoc in the backfield, and that's what this guy has been able to do throughout his career.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down.
We got a close game here in the 3rd quarter, and you're seeing momentum shift right now for the defense. The last drive out, they gave up a touchdown. This drive, though, they've now forced a 3 and out. They've done an outstanding job, and you can see them now playing with more confidence.
Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. They'll start this drive at their own 48. Looking for a man. It's Simpson. Makes the grab. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, you throw a little hitch route. Nice job getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Wide receiver, quarterback. Nice job being on the same page. Nice completion, nice catch.
Line getting set on 2nd down. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They'll make the stop at the 42. It's a pickup of 5, and that will be enough for a 1st down.
I'll tell you, this running back, he is running behind an offensive line that is playing in unison right now, doing a great job communicating pre-snap. They're getting hats on hats in the run game.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. Grabbed behind the line, it's Lewis. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat, I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the defense.
So now it's 2nd and long. They'll run play action. Got it in the middle. It's Cuevas. Brings him down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a 1st down for this offense.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
Off-play action on first down. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He was thinking big return, didn't get that, but boy, did he give his offense an opportunity at the 31. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. The play action fake. He's going to let it go. And he's got it inside the 35. This guy hoping to join that long line of big playmakers for Florida State, whether it's Rashad Green, Kez McCorvey, or, of course, the great Peter Warrick.
Yeah, finding those guys on the outside with game-breaking speed that you can build your offense around, that you know you can consistently throw the football, get Doak Campbell Stadium rocking, get everybody excited about Florida State.
Throws to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's Robinson. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
It's really tough on offenses when defenses know what you got to do. You got to pass the football. They're in man coverage. How about the receiver understanding where the first down is? He smells it. He goes and gets it.
Down to the 18-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Picked up maybe a yard. It's down at the 16.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Brad behind the line. It's White. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense. 1st and goal from the 7. They fought tooth and nail through 3, and it is all locked up as we take a look at the stats. This is when winning plays are made, and we start right now in the 4th. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, and I love running the football down the red zone. You've got to be able to do it. And 1st down, obviously, is the right down to do it. But now limits the options a little bit more. 2nd down after that loss of yards play.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. And that one did not work.
Man, what a great play by that cornerback. There's so much space out here in football, the way they spread you out. But to be able to break on the football when it's thrown and those quick passes like that, nice job by the cornerback.
It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. Back to pass, it's Castellanos. Safe completion on the screen. He is stopped short. That's the man they wanted to have the ball, but it'll be 4th down. Look, you would love to have gotten the touchdown there, but at this point, just take the lead with the field goal.
And it's so hard because you've been thinking aggressive. Let's stretch this lead out now. You got to think, hey, I got to make them score a touchdown, get a field goal right here, and rely on my defense.
That thing would have hit a spring in the middle of the uprights. Perfect. They have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Big-time kick right there, man. 4th quarter, clutch time. You needed to come through to take the lead, and now the pressure goes to the defense. You got to keep this lead. Got to get a stop or 2 more, and you can get the dub in this football game.
So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. On the move from inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Wants to throw on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. And it's picked off for the third time today.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field, because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
Okay, guys, the Florida State offense returns to the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. And generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass, it's Castellanos. Got it behind the line, it's Williams. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
The Seminoles decide to punt it away. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Gives it on the option. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere. Defense won that round.
The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved when I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count. It messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on 3rd down at the dope. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab. Breaks into the open. He smashes his way through again. Touchdown Tide! And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
I think one of the most underrated things we talk about with a QB is timing. Being able to get the ball out of his hands to his receiver where he can continue to catch the football and run with it. Nice pitch, nice catch, nice play in the 4th quarter when you needed it for this team to take the lead.
PAT unit on the field. And the extra point is good, and every point counts. It's now a 4-point lead in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. With the catch, it's Thomas. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. You know, we joke that the tight end's always open, David, but play action almost makes it impossible to keep them covered.
And yeah, because those guys, they're such good blockers most of the time. They're big and physical, and they sell block for a second, and then they run open and they find holes in zones, or they get good matchups. And man, those tight ends nowadays are nightmares for defenses to try to stop.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. He'll keep it himself. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing about these QBs that can move and run all over the place and give you so many options is that didn't even look like much, but he chews up so much yardage and gets those little gains that just death by 1,000 cuts that continue to happen with this offense.
Finds the tight end. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a 1st down. Love the way he didn't just run to a spot. He found the cushion in the zone and got himself open for the 1st down.
Yeah, and you're taught to find that space. Don't run right into a zone defender who's sitting there looking at the quarterback and looking at you. So much creativity with routes now and of being able to just have subtle moves one way, come back the other way. Nice job by the tight end finding that hole in the zone.
Fires to the wideout. Soft spot in the middle. And the Seminoles come to the line with a new set of downs. He'll pull it on the read. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And as a defensive player, you see so much option nowadays and so many different variants of it. And you got to play very disciplined, sound football. And you could tell he knew he was responsible for the quarterback. He goes and gets him, sits him on the ground, creates a tackle for a loss.
This drive facing a little adversity on 2nd and 11. He'll do it himself. He breaks a tackle. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
And I think everybody wants to run the option nowadays, but the problem is, can everybody read it? You got to be able to stick the ball in the belly of the running back, and you have to be able to understand, or I'm pitching it to him. Whatever the read is, you can tell he was a little bit confused, a little bit slow, and that's why the defense won this rep.
Motion from the wide receiver. Looking for a man. It's Castellanos. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
And here we go. Down a score. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Fires to the right. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Now on the option. He'll toss it. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. A cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound, the war chant on 3rd down at the dope. Now they'll run it on the toss. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
This running back's had all kind of success. Now we're getting later in the game. We got to make sure we get some stops, get the ball back to our offense.
The clock winds down to the 2-minute timeout, and this offense will try to drain away the time and secure the victory. Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Oh, my, he just shanked that one. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line. Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw, it's Castellanos. Grabbed in the middle, it's Williams. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play.
A lot of times late in games, you see this by defenses. They're going to drop back, and they're going to take away all the deep stuff, trying to take away all the passing lanes. Nice job getting to your running back, letting him get positive yards, and then let's get up to the ball quickly.
Second down, they'll go to the air. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hip.
Well, obviously here in the fourth quarter trailing, they're going to be throwing the ball, trying to get back in this game. Couldn't come up with it there on second down. You're expecting them to throw it here on third.
The Seminoles come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. On third and short, they'll try to throw for it. Caught over the middle, it's Robinson. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Slants are very tough to cover, but they become way tougher when you got a big body wide receiver like that. It's almost like basketball where he's boxing you out. He gets inside real quick, uses that big body to shield you off, and even if you're playing man-to-man, you just got to get him on the ground and try to disrupt him some way.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
They're dealing with a second and long. Looking to throw again. And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the fourth. Whoa, that linebacker sacked that quarterback, and he was on him quicker than a hiccup.
Yeah, and you see quarterbacks back there pointing and telling the offensive line who to block, and, well, that didn't work, okay? He was not prepared for that. He comes scot-free, and the quarterback pays the con.
He wants to go deep. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down.
Well, they're trailing in this game late. The defense knows it, so they're playing for pass. 2 plays ago, they get the sack. This time, they force an incompletion. Not a lot the offense can do here to catch them off guard. They're just going to have to make a huge play here on fourth down.
It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on fourth down. He's going up top here late in the game. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection. And the offense is content with where it is. They'll take a knee.